Boom. A little gentle boom there, Ray. Because,
Yeah.
because it's, yeah, I've been better. I've been better, but I'm okay. Before you, I have got to be careful how many booms I do, otherwise I'll be going back up the road again. How
Yeah.
are you? How are you,
Definitely.
my very good friend?
Oh man, I'm still honestly trying to wake up. I played a little bit of PUBG late at night with the guys. And yeah, I'm a little tired, but I am here. I am here.
Oh,
We got a
bless you.
wonderful guest. So yeah.
I am concerned about your very late nights. Being a man not too dissimilar to myself,
Hmm.
shy of a few years, and I
Yeah.
got, if I don't go to bed by 11:30, mate, I am literally like an extra from The Walking Dead on the very next day. So I mean, you got to trim your
Well,
cloth.
naps. I do my power naps. So I do like 3 or 4 hour naps during the day. So I take my power naps to get me ready to game at night. But for a 49-year-old, that's not good.
Nah, mate,
I
tell me
can't
about
hang.
it.
Not
What
good.
time? Listen, nobody watching this wants to know about two decrepit old fellas. But while I'm on the topic, what time of the day do you have your power naps? I want to see if we coincide.
Let's see. Probably maybe about 12, because I'll probably watch like Stadia Pro Gaming, or I'll watch John Scar or somebody, and then after that I'll just fall asleep and then wake up to play with somebody. I'll hop in with Jeff, or I'll hop in with SPG, or watching Vet or something. But usually about noontime, my time.
Yeah, see, I do as well, but it's got worse for me of late because I've been having them after breakfast. I think it's
Yeah.
like you have your mashed up Weetabix because
Yes.
your
Yes.
teeth at our age, mate. You can't be chewing on,
Exactly.
even toast is a battle I find at our age. let's have a let's have a quick chat with the chat. Let's see who we got. Oh, look who we've got. We've got four. We've actually got the band members in the chat, Ray,
Yeah,
because
whatever. They need to be here on the panel, man.
well,
But
yeah, but it's a
I
special show.
totally, I
It's a
got it.
special
I
show,
got it. I
and
got it.
John is he's trying to rule an empire. He's taken
Yes.
over Canada one step at a time. You know how it
Yes.
works.
Yes.
And William, this is true. He's roadieing for a country and western band. I
Yeah,
mean,
his dad is a wonderful country singer.
is
I've seen a
he?
video. Yeah, he's
Oh
very, very good.
wow!
And then happy belated birthday to John Scar, guys. If you don't know, it was John's
Yes,
birthday
there he is.
yesterday. So happy birthday.
Yeah. Did we find out how old he was? By the way, did he? He did put a poll up in his show, and I think it was like 49 or something like that.
Well, I thought he was in his 30s.
He may be, I don't know, but and there's young William. Look, he's, as he says, he's had to roadie for a different band today,
Yeah.
but that's all good. I want to, William, send me the link to your dad's country and western stuff because I'd love to see that. That's
Oh,
an awesome,
you
awesome
love
thing.
it. Love it.
Geek to Sneak, how are you, my friend? It's all right. It's nothing to do with the contagion. I don't have the old mad bat flu or any of that malarkey. All good. Ninja Guy X, good to see you too. Another great Canadian.
Yes.
The Canadians are representing today,
Yeah, they
Ray.
are.
They are.
Yeah,
Look at
they
this.
are.
We got Crow, how are you, bro? Tally Dark Star. And then his namesake, Wind Star, because it has a star in it, so that's fair enough. 49. Well, would you tell us what it is then, John? We're quite happy, mate. I think he's 40. I think it was still, and Tally thinks he was 59.
Oh, wow.
I know he looks it,
Wow.
Tally. I know he does look it, but no, I don't think he's that bad. I think he's all right. Anyway, listen, on to serious stuff. So, as you guys know, for the whole of this month, I have been trying to raise money for an incredibly worthwhile charity. And when I started at the beginning of June, little did I know that I would end up a lot of that time in hospital, but in and around that. I last year I did raise money for the same charity, and it got up to just shy of about $950, about £750, which I was incredibly happy with. And I didn't, to be honest with you, expect to do anything like that this year because lockdown, people have moved on, and the whole, the globe is in some kind of financial mess. So I just thought if we get 500, I would be so happy. Well, little did I know, because you guys are amazing. This is where we ended up yesterday, I think, Ray. Just
Wow.
Take a
Amazing.
look at that.
Wow.
1455. 69, absolutely, and it all down to you guys, to the community, quite honestly. And there have been, I mean, some of the donations are eye-wateringly amazing. There's a little listy poos on there. I think, I don't know if I show this full screen, we may end up not actually. I tell you what we can do, Ray. We can do that. There we go. Gaming advocate Chase donated £350, which is an incredible amount of money. Just below us, unfortunately, we've got Ruben there,
Yes.
200. I wonder if I see if I hide my. I think I get muted, don't I? So
Yeah.
that's not very clever. We got Jack to Slip did
Mhm.
150. Purple Haze, bless her,
Yes.
an amazing amount of money. It's just below there. Let me hide myself. All right, actually shows 100, but it's more than that because she not only did she do 100 initially, but then she
Right.
did an amazing show where it was interviewing me. So I mean, it's bound to be amazing. Let's be honest here. But she also said that she would match any donations that were raised during that show, and she went on to match 120 on top of the 100. So super amazing. And then there's other guys, and honestly, there've been so many amazing donations that it's just blown us all away. Now, as it happens, Ray, we were going to do. Oh, sorry, mate. Don't worry. There you go. We were going to do a big special raise praise this month anyway, because what I've been wanting to do is kind of break out the all the different facets of the show as a sort of special for the raising thing. So today is going to be that day because obviously John and William can't be with us. So we've got a super special guest, lovely lady who is
Yes.
part of Young Lives versus Cancer. So without further ado, as they say on the internet, Ray, have you heard all the YouTubers say that? You notice that they all start with "What's up?" and then they
Mhm.
follow it with "without further ado." So without
Exactly.
further ado, let's bring on Helen Lam. Here she is.
Hello, Helen.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you both?
Well, yeah. Well, look at us. What do you reckon? I mean, we're not bad for two older fellas, are we, Ray? We're like those two
No.
old fellas in the Muppets.
Yep. Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
reckon we're back here again next week.
Exactly. Exactly.
Helen,
Exactly.
I'm gonna let you tell us all about the charity while I change that ticker underneath so it's more appropriate to what you're talking about. So go.
Well, thank you. First of all, I just want to say a huge thank you to you and to your community. Just the generosity of people, particularly when it's really difficult for everyone to donate any money, pound, a dollar, to the hundreds that people have donated. It really does go such a long way, and it means the absolute world to the charity. So we're just really grateful. It's no small doing trying to raise money. So just a huge thank you from us. And then in terms of the charity, so yeah, I work for Young Lives versus Cancer. We are a UK-based charity, and we support anyone up to the age of 25, so babies all the way up to 25, anyone who is diagnosed with cancer, and that's the child and young person, but also their siblings and their family and their parents, because we know cancer impacts the whole family. It doesn't just impact one person. So we work in lots of different ways. Essentially, from the moment somebody gets that absolutely heartbreaking, devastating news, we'll have social workers there. We don't want anyone to face cancer alone. We don't want anyone to struggle financially. So we're there to give grants. People are struggling to put petrol in their car to get to treatment, to pay with parking, to pay hospital foods. So we're there trying to give them that financial stability when that time is really difficult. We also have incredible, talented, professional social workers. I essentially can't big them up enough, who are there really to be with that family from absolutely point A all the way through to the end of treatment and beyond. And they're just somebody there who can actually just help them face whatever cancer throws at them. So that can be anything. That can be school worries, relationship breakdowns, education, the fear of future. There's so many unknowns, and it's not one size fits all. So the social workers are there just to help them navigate. And I don't think any words I could do would be able to give them justice to how much they are there for the families. And it goes miles beyond just being a smiling face and a cup of tea. They're really there in the deepest, darkest moments of people, and they're there to pull them out of it and build up their resilience. to work with them. So they're kind of our shining star of where all that money goes. And then one of the more practical ways we also support families. So in the UK specifically, it's around 60 miles for a family to get to treatment. So
Wow.
children can't be treated everywhere. They're only treated in really select hospitals. So that's just really tiresome travel. It's really expensive. It's just rubbish. So next to those hospitals, we have 11 homes from home. And we give families a free place to stay, so that it means, there's not one parent who has to stay at home with another child or rushing around with a camp bed next to a hospital, or, there's families who are sleeping in car parks because they need there, and everyone needs that support network. So we have these homes which are run by house managers and these incredible staff who I know are referred to as like extended family members and aunties, because they're there at the end of a really rubbish day, at the end of treatment, just to give them somewhere to stay. And there's kitchens so they can cook meals in the middle of the night. I think when a child says they want a roast dinner at 3:00, that's what a parent wants to give them. They would do anything for them. So we kind of arm them with those resources to do that. Arm them with those resources to do that, and take away. So it's completely free for families. And actually just £38 can fund for an entire family to spend one night in a home from home.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
The moment, a family hears that they have cancer and they have to travel 60 miles, they're away from their network, they're away from their family and friends. I think, it's that moment. Actually, we can kind of put that arm around them. We have a social worker there and we have that support. They can get a grant and they can have a place to stay. And the thing with the family and the homes is they have all different sizes, but there's different families there. So whilst this could be a really isolating experience, families can connect with one another. We work very hard. I would never speak on behalf of a young person with cancer. I don't know what that is like, but they can provide that support to one another. And I think, from what we hear from families, that goes such a long way to kind of just get them through what is essentially the worst period of their lives. So yeah, we don't get any money from the government. We are funded entirely on the generosity of wonderful communities like yourselves and everyone just out there, just donating their hard-earned money at the end of the day. And yeah, we make sure that it just goes to the families to do all we can. And then the last kind of caveat of work that we do as well is we try and make society, the country, a better place for young cancer patients. So we will lobby the government, we'll say, actually, it's not fair that families have to travel this far, that they have to spend £600 a month, that they have to pay for parking, that people are losing their jobs. So we'll work really closely to speak to local governors and MPs to actually just champion for change and be that voice, so future families don't have to face the same struggles that families today are going through.
No, that's absolutely lovely, Helen. Thank you. And I mean, it's,
Amazing.
for me, and I think all of us, I've never had the experience of being young and having to deal with cancer. But we've all been children. Some of us have got children. It doesn't take much imagination to know or get a feeling inside of what that must be like, and it's an emotional thing. So for us, I think all of us, it's struck an absolute chord. I'm really pleased to say that we've actually been joined by Purple Haze, who's just waiting for me to bring her in. Now I'm just going to quickly bring Purple in. Hello.
Hey, Purple.
Hey everyone.
How are
Thanks
you?
for having me.
How are you in gloriously sunny New York?
It is actually a cloudy day today,
Oh.
but no,
One in two chance.
it's like a weird situation. I was supposed to go into the office and then got stopped between here and the subway, and I was like, I can't make it. I have too many calls. So
Bless you. Well, thank you so much for popping in. The main reason that I wanted to get yourself in, Audrey Purple, is because you obviously got really behind everything that I was doing with the charity. You've been super generous financially, but also, you approached me and said, look, I really would love to interview you this month so that we can get the name out there, the charity, push for the donations and everything. And I think that's been so important to have amazing people like yourself in the community that have really bought into this and enabled us to get to that stunning amount of money. What was it that struck a chord with you particularly as far as the charity is concerned?
Yeah, I think it's a holistic approach with, supporting the family that it's just really important. So I think, Rock, you and I had talked about how cancer has affected my family and just any number of other illnesses or diseases really. And I mean, am I breaking up?
A tiny bit. It's okay.
There you go. You're back. You're back.
You're good. It's the internet.
Okay.
What can you do? Look,
Has so many tabs open.
I put $5 in the tin, but it still only gives me the smallest amount of broadband. What am I going to do?
Here, I'm closing tabs as we talk.
Oh,
I have like
they are the killers.
100 tabs.
They do it.
No, but so hopefully this works now. But no, as I was saying, just have how cancer has affected my family, and then the organizations that supported us through that process. Because besides just dealing with the news, there's so many other things that go on, and it's really like your world just stops and a new world begins, but the world still goes on, and so I can only imagine when a young person has that in the family, all their energy really needs to go towards taking care of what they have to take care of. And it's really great for an organization to be there. So to pick up those other pieces. So that's really what struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you. Helen, I'm really interested because obviously you rebranded last year. Before that, I'd always known you as Click Sergeant. And that, I know in terms of names, it probably didn't resonate so much. And obviously changing it from cancer, leukemia in children, Sergeant, to Young Lives versus Cancer, it's kind of, as we say in the UK, it's what it says on the tin. It's it makes it really obvious. But the thing that's fascinated me, and I know I don't know whether it was last year was the first time, but certainly in recent times, was how you've kind of hooked into the whole concept of trying to get content creators on board, particularly in the gaming industry. Was that something that's kind of grown over time, or was that all part of the brand change? Or
no, it's been a really conscious decision. So people have always been, and actually like supporters and young people have always been at the heart of everything we do. And funnily enough, the name Young Lives versus Cancer was actually decided on, thought by a young person themselves. It wasn't in some corporate office. And actually that's how it kind of transpired and to do what we do. But as an organisation, we, our voices don't matter. What matters is the voice of communities and young people and parents with cancer. So we've made a really conscious effort to try and amplify those voices and have, there's no point me sitting in a room being like, what do people want to hear? Young people want to hear from other young people with cancer, and streamers want to hear from other streamers. And we know that's what really works. So we've recently actually got a new voluntary group, which is content creators, and they're just putting out this amazing thing, and it's resonating with people, and they're engaging with it, and it allows us to let the experts do what they do best, and we can just support them behind the scenes. And to be honest, we can just say thank you. And I'd like to throw out a huge thank you as well there, Purple, for your generosity. Thank you so much, and support. But it's something we want to do. We want to, we want us to be less facing, and we want these content creators to be front and center. And it just makes such a huge difference. And I think it gives that authenticity to the brand and that trustworthiness as well, because it's something I think is really important to add is, even if people don't donate and they're not in a position to, you now know the charity's name. And if you know somebody who's going through cancer, the work that, you've all done to get that brand out there, if one person seeks our support and doesn't go into financial hardship or is pulled through that journey because they went to us because of you, then that is invaluable. That's enough. We can all go to bed and we've done our job. So I think it's just the benefits are just endless.
That's a really good point, Helen. I was going to raise it myself because when you sent me a lovely card, by the way, it was gorgeous, and that was the big thing that came across for me was saying, the money is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, really, really amazing. Obviously, goes towards doing what we do, but actually, equally important is promoting the name of the charity, because not just because the name has changed, and that's kind of a reset in a lot of ways. A lot of people that may have traditionally raised money for Click and then the name's no longer there, and they go, oh, is the charity still around? So you've kind of got to double up on all of that stuff, haven't you? To get it out there. So I think, yeah, that's really great, and I've taken every opportunity possible to try and promote the name. Everything that I've been doing this month has been as much about getting the brand out there, because as you've rightly said, we never know when we're going to bump into a situation where we think, actually, you know what, this is where the charity could really help, and pass that through. Ray, go for it, my friend.
I want to also, guys, they're not just working just for video games too. I've done some research myself, and I just want, first of all, no young child is alone, and I love that. I love that. And then also, guys, they're not just working in gaming, but I've also noticed that they've done marathon runs. They've helped kids with working experience as well, teaching them about working. They've helped out small business shops and stuff. So this organization does so much. And if you just go to the Young Lives versus Cancer, their Twitter page, or go to their social medias, read the touching stories. I actually read some of the stories. I'm tearing and crying listening to these young, wonderful children's journeys as they work with the organization, as they're being with their parents, and hear the perspectives from the parents and how they've dealt with it. This organization is amazing. And once again, Helen, thank you so much for what you got, for what you do, and what your organization does for just the young kids. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a big circle. Wouldn't be possible without everybody else behind. So yeah, and I think as well, particularly with online communities, we hear from young people with cancer, and they might be in hospital for months. They might be isolating and not able to speak. So having an online community and knowing there's support out there, and there's people who are just saying like, yeah, I'm showing up for you, I'm supporting you, whether they tell them that they're going through cancer or not, it allows them to be themselves, their authentic selves, online without having this label of having cancer as well. So that's why for us as a charity, it's so important that we are online and we are visible, because that's where young people are, and that's where they feel they can be themselves and be safe and secure and build their own communities as well. So yeah.
Oh, bless you. We unfortunately, I was hoping to do the entire month, and as you know, it's been a bit intermittent, and my month actually comes to an end this week, so I'm then off on to sunnier climes, but so this is really the final week for me in terms of trying to raise a little bit more money. Now I kind of, once we'd smashed through the 1,000, which was the original goal, I kind of didn't want to outstay my welcome, because you sort of want the best and raise as much money as you can for the charity, but equally there comes a point where people are like, is he still banging that drum? So it's like, he's hit the target, man. So I just want to say, firstly, thank you so much to everybody that has already donated, and I've already mentioned just how generous. I mean, mind-blowingly generous. You know how to make grown men cry. Let's be frank here. And Purple, everything you've done as well in terms of supporting it, beyond, above and beyond. And I know, people like to do these things privately and don't necessarily want to make it turn into some kind of superstardom. But I think it's important to show when people go above and beyond. There are a few more days left before I'm no longer banging this drum, and as I mentioned, we're up to 14.55. That's actually a live counter. If you don't believe me, go and put $5 in the pot now and watch that go up to 40 to 1,569, and have your name under that little blue today's donors. It's gonna happen, I'm sure. You wait and see. But if you don't, doesn't matter, there's still time. And the important thing is as I've said, every single penny, this doesn't come via my PayPal account and then I'm dolling it out when I can be bothered. This goes directly to the charity. And almost from the day one of this month that we started putting money in, that money went straight to underwriting all the great causes. So you couldn't ask for anything more simple and more worthy. Helen, I don't want to detain you any further. We've already had a good half an hour out of you. Thank you so much for joining today. I know it was a little bit of a last-minute rush, but I'm loving the on-brand background as well. Look at that up
representing. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Oh, Helen, you've frozen now yourself.
Oh, yeah, back.
There you go. Sorry, you were going to say something.
Thank you. You
Really,
people are amazing.
we really appreciate it.
Oh, bless you. Well, thank you so much. I'll speak to you anon across the DMs of Twitter.
Yeah.
Purple, I'd love you to hang around and help us out with the Stadia news. If not
Yeah.
you, Helen, because you don't even know what Stadia is. I totally understand and appreciate. That's not a problem. we'll send you a free account and you can play to your heart's content.
Yeah.
There you go.
Get my head around that one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Helen. You rock.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you so much. Have a cracking week. Goodbye.
The counter went up.
Where? What do you mean? Oh, it did. It
Yeah,
did.
yes,
There
it
you
did. Yes,
go.
it did. Yes, it
Wow.
did.
Look
Yes,
at
it
that.
did.
And let's have a quick look and see. Oh,
Woo.
I can't see who it is, but I'm going to find out. Just give me 2 seconds. I switch across to OBS. That's amazing, isn't it? I was hoping somebody would be really, really generous and slap a few quid on there. All right. It's look, it's actually a live counter, said the person that spent £5. I love that. A sense of humor goes down a treat on this show.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you so
does.
much.
Yes, it does.
Right, that was brilliant, wasn't it? She's lovely, and they're
Yes.
such a great charity. They really are. And do you know what I think? In the past, I've done a load of charity work, and you usually get the old T-shirt and a standard printed letter and everything. But they've been so open and sort of welcoming behind the scenes to try and support in any way they can. You can go. I can go on forever. I do. I love you guys. You've been amazing. But I know you really want to know. Well, you want to know what's going on in the world of Stadia. We happen to have some Stadia news. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this, and we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back if it goes up. Purple, are you okay to hang around for a bit? And
I don't. You all have like a pretty all-star cast. So I don't know if I can do
No,
it.
they-
justice.
Where's the All Stars?
yeah, they didn't show.
She just
today.
said. She said expert. She calls y'all experts.
Yeah, but that normally means somebody that was once a pert and now they're an expert. So it's actually a negative. I don't take it as a positive. Let's hide that. Let's go for some news, shall we? I'm up for a bit of news. So we didn't think we'd get a this week on Stadia this week because of course we had a big one last week, and next week we've got when is the 1st of July? Is it
Man, that's
Wednesday?
coming up. That's actually on a Friday.
Is it? So it's the end of next week. So next Tuesday, there will be a twos.
I'm thinking the 27th. There should be
Okay.
one.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Unfortunately, as I've already mentioned, I won't be here. And I've got some thoughts, Ray. It's all good. And it won't necessarily need to involve you either, unless you really want it to. But we'll be good on that front. So we've got some news. And unfortunately, Purple has had no prior knowledge to anything that we're about to discuss. So if you go, I don't know nothing, that's absolutely fine. But it's just me and my friend Ray. I mean, what more could you possibly need? So, dad joke is strong. Love it. Says already exist. I want my expert. They come in, they go. I mean, what can I say? I have literally. I think I've got the ghost of Bob Hope in my head. That's what I think is going on. I think it's
Mommy, who's Bob Hope?
Bob Hope. Yeah, two kinds of hope, no hope and Bob Hope. That's what they say, isn't it? Right, let me get my head into gear here. Come on, Rock. Let's share the screen. Let's share the screen of love. And we'll bring up this first one. So, there was a whole load of hullabaloo over Saints Row.
Oh,
and,
man.
and it was coming and it was going and then it was coming again and then it was going again. Well,
Yes.
interestingly enough, and quite a few folks spotted this on Twitter, and our good friends over at Stadia Source, of course, hosting sponsored by Rock, they also spotted this, and this is amazing. Now, I'm not too sure on the language. Do you know what this language is? Is it French? D'ici là, les jeux peuvent et déjecter et personnaliser leur son grâce au bus facteur. That's about right, isn't it? Sounds French when you say it that way. So what you can see here, this is a press pack that was sent out to anybody and everybody that's interested in the launch of Saints Row, so the press. And it's this one here that's the interesting one if we zoom in on this in Twitter. Because it says in French, platforms and Google Stadia. Now, this has only just gone out as a press pack. So deny or not deny, that's looking fairly good to me. What do you think, guys?
Until it is officially rated and officially out, you know, I don't know. I have to get more detail, but hey, still good.
Well,
you never know.
Purple, what are your thoughts? Is it even a game you're that interested in? I'm not, if I'm honest with you. But
so I watch a lot of Suna Live, his channel, and he's been playing a lot of the Saints Rows lately, and so I'm interested. Like, I watch other people play games that I probably wouldn't play, so I am excited for the people who play it. I probably wouldn't play it, but who knows? Like, I haven't played the one that's on the Pro, but
I guess it's like everything. It's a AAA. It could potentially be a day and date if it comes to Stadia, and it's just like a little bit of a shot, isn't it? It's like a bit of a pep pill for the community. It's like, you know what, we haven't been forgotten. We're not the tumbleweed town that everybody keeps saying we are. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what the game is. It's just an anecdote, isn't it? It's just like, yes, at last, yeah, we've got something here.
Well, one of the things I think is important to think about, we see a lot of some content creators, not going to say any names, or who want these big splashy events. And what they forget is a lot of times that's the publishing arm of a company will do that. Like, that's what they get paid for. They get paid to market these things out. And so when Stadia has somewhat shifted that away, how does the word get out? And so I think we're kind of seeing the pattern. They're trying to figure it out. What is the balance between letting the developer / publisher do it versus the platform? So I think it's coming. I'm not going to put, I know other games that I'm pretty much a lot more sure about, but I believe this one's coming for sure.
Yeah, and Clive makes a good point. Hello, Clive. Clive's my special friend. Clive doesn't know this yet, Purple, but while I'm away, Clive may be one of the replacement shows for this very show, and he'll find out later when I tell him all about it. I like surprising Clive. It's like Christmas.
It's like, really?
Exactly. But yeah, it's from Koch Media. I like to pronounce it that way because if it's the brothers behind it, that's how they need to be pronounced. PR department. More than one photo of press pack spotted in the wild. Be interesting to know, Clive, what the other ones do. The other ones have Google Stadia on them or not? That would be interesting. But yeah, I did translate it over here. Let me get Paul Little Ray back. There we go. I've translated it over here. So we received orientation from Santo, I'm assuming that's an I there, Ileso, from Koch Media Francais and Deep Silver, the developers. The Saints Row remake will be released for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PC, and Stadia on August 23rd. Until then, players can already create and customize their Saints thanks to the Boss Factory. So yeah, it'll be interesting. And Clive says, yep, no, both of them have Stadia on them. So they've had plenty of chance to take it off. What I think it says is, you're right, Purple. It may or may not show up on the 23rd of August as it says, but clearly they've done the porting. So it's probably now in the whole process of validation and certification within Stadia. They've got plenty of time. But we know Stadia don't like to go ahead of time until that's all been done and promote anything coming to the studio, because there might be something in that they find that needs to send it back around the loop again and delay it for a few more weeks. It's difficult to know. But I think without a shadow of a doubt, clearly Deep Silver think they've done the job. So, at some point it's going to turn up. I think that's great news. And so you can all chill out, guys. Stadia's not dead. What's wrong with you?
Yeah. And the last thing I'll just mention to this is, even if to your point there, Rokk, it's Deep Silver, and if you understand that relationship, Deep Silver, THQ Nordic, Embracer Group, those are some of the biggest supporters of the platform. Like when you talk about Techu Nordic, and just go to Stadia and look at it. And Deep Silver is one of the studios under that huge, massive Embracer umbrella that is now. So again, I'm excited for it. And if it doesn't come now, I know what Embracer's business model is, and it's going to come eventually.
No, you're so right. And already exists says as well, Embracer is huge. I mean, they're one of the largest conglomerates of studios around the world, aren't they? They're absolutely massive.
Yes,
and if they're on board, this is the key. This is, I think, this is the key takeaway, isn't it? That when you've got that scale of organization that's happy to invest in bringing games to Stadia, it's like Clive said on his show last night. The tools for porting are being rolled out. Actually, I think it was Sunny, but I'm happy to give Clive the praise because
they've both been talking about the tools.
Yeah,
shout out to Sunny and.
They're rolling out. They weren't suddenly given to all studios on day one. They're rolling them out as needed. They're tweaking, they're adding to them, and so on. So you're going to see that gradually making its way through the games. What comes to Stadia? 100% Stadia here, folks. We'll talk about that again in a second. Let me just shuffle this into another little tweet. Hopefully, oh no, you didn't get it. I didn't know which screen have I got here going on. So many screens and none of them.
Shout out to the cowboy is in the
Eric?
chat.
Is Eric in the chat? Eric, my cowboy, this show is gonna be Eric. That's what he says, isn't it? Oh, no worries, my friend. Good to see you as always. Bless you. Right, so this is so Gracie Persevero is if you guys aren't following, you really should. Why am I not following her? What's going on? Must be one of my other accounts. I thought I was. Gracie is she's actually part of the support team behind Google Stadia, and she's very open and is within the confines of what you can say within your job and your NDAs and all that stuff. But what Gracie said, if I can get it back to where's everybody going? Why am I losing everybody? Come back, Ray. Did I God, it's all going very technical on me. Let's get that tweet back. So in fact, what happened was this guy, she loves her job, and that's all brilliant. And there she is with her badge and proof that she is indeed over at Stadia. And then somebody said, how's it all going, and so on. And she says, Stadia this was this week. Stadia is doing great. Thank you for asking. The team, this is interesting. The team is much bigger than I thought it was before I joined. A lot of effort and love to deliver all the latest cool features that we've been delivering. So again, it's another one of those kind of batting it back at Stadia is just a skeleton team there now. It's just a couple of guys in marketing and everything else is going out to immersive and da-da-dee-dee-dee. She doesn't have to say this. She could just say nothing. There's no benefit to her in her job. She may or may not have shares in Alphabet. But the point is that, this, the takeaways, it's bigger than I thought it would be. And we're working on cool features. Purple, what are your thoughts?
I mean, we've seen the job postings. If you just can do Google's Stadia job postings, brings up a huge list of job postings. And I mean, I think she's definitely still, whatever corporate Kool-Aid she's drinking, amazing. She's still on that. Yeah. But I do think there is still but there's definitely a team there. And, the departures that had happened were obviously big Jade Raymond last year. And those people all were basically people she hired into the company. And they're all people who are now in Haven Studios or under that umbrella. But to think that it's just this ragged crew, I mean, Google's a massive company. And, I think we would have heard something if there was this mass exodus of Stadia talent building the platform. I just think they're being like a tech company and just doing the work.
She's supporting them. That's the key thing. But yeah, but there were people that were sort of saying, oh, well, they've got rid of SG&E and now everybody, and there was this mass, redundancy, and now there's just a few guys left that are in support, marketing, and we know that's not the case. Guys, before we go any further, I just noticed we've had an additional Ruben, who has already been a huge supporter at 200, has just popped another 2131 in because, like me, he's clearly OCD and he's
Right.
had enough of the 69 hanging around at the back there.
Shout out to Clive too.
And Clive, thank you, Clive. Thank you, my friend. I was so fixated on Ruben. I was thinking Clive was the fella before. There you go. Look at that. We're now up to 1,500. That is absolutely stunning. I can't thank you guys enough, quite honestly. I'm not sure if they heard your little clap there, Ray, but that was lovely, my friend. We should give it an official clap. Here we go.
There you go. Yep.
Wow. Thank you, Clive, and thank you, Ruben, as well. And the anonymous individual that wanted to make sure that it actually was true and that I wasn't fibbing earlier. That's amazing. 1,500. There you go. Wow. I can now rest. I can rest. My work here is done. Sierra, lovely to see you. And thank you for the hearts and the praise as well. And Ruben's not a hater. He's a lovely fella. He pops into my streams all the time. So there you go. That's brilliant. And I completely agree with everything you guys just said. So next up, what have we got here? Oh, yes, another one of these kind of amazing tweets. Just make sure I've got the right screen. I've been keeping an eye out on these this week. So this one was between Ralph Haley, Mr. 1030, and Thomas. Thomas is Falconeer dev, so obviously the game is Falconeer. Now, what he was being asked here, well, he was talking about some work in progress stuff, saying it's all been going really well, etc. And then Ralph said, let me see if I can go up a level here on this tweet. Maybe not. That's me replying. That ain't going to work, Rock, is it, you idiot? Let's click on that one, then we can go down the thread. There we go. Right. So Ralph said, hey, Falconeer Dev, I've never asked, and you don't shy away from the truth. So how is your experience with Stadia? Does it appear beneficial enough to you as a platform to release your future games there as well? Not necessarily day and date. That's a lot to ask. And Thomas, who has, to be fair, been very open in the past, said it's been a cool experience and the community has been stellar. We know that. Porting wasn't super easy. Note that was before the new porting tools.
Right.
But something is new. There are bound to be lessons that need to be learned. Overall, I wouldn't mind it. Bearing in mind again, guys, that English isn't his mother tongue, so some of the phraseology may not be as super emotional as you may pop it out there. Overall, I wouldn't mind it. But these things are mostly biz dev choices, so the above isn't always relevant. So he's not saying yes to the question, but he is saying he's really enjoyed the experience. It's been a cool experience. The community have been very supportive. Porting was a challenge, but that's obviously why Stadia have invested in the new porting tools, taking it from months down to days and weeks. So I thought that was really, nothing great there to talk about, but I think it's nice to get feedback from the studios. What do you guys think on that one?
Well, first of all, it's awesome when devs take the time to talk to the community. I think that's great. And then two is, there's just good things to come. Once these tools get out in these other devs' hands and they can get these games out, I think they'll be, it's just going to be great. I'm looking forward to 2023 for awesome games on Stadia. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, me too. Purple, anything you want to add?
No, I think that sums it up. I'm looking forward to, I'm still looking forward to this year, right? We just saw Sam, let's not just discount what's going to still come out this year, but definitely looking forward to just the growth of the platform as a whole.
No, I think we've still got some massive stuff to come. And I can't. There was, I wish we'd had a show at the time, but there was a tweet a couple of weeks back that said, somebody said that they had just been in a meeting with some people from Stadia, and that what they had been shown that was coming blew them away. They didn't say it was kind of, that's not verbatim, but that's kind of what was suggested. I mean, that I found that hugely encouraging. Firstly, it was some outfit outside of Google Stadia that said it, and secondly, they literally said, as developers, we're really excited about what's coming this year, and that was the key thing. So, I think you just, like Clive says every single week, you just have to be patient. It will come. You either support the platform, or you play your games where the games are. That's the key thing, isn't it? But for us, I mean, I'm as you know, I mean, just to move this into the next point that I wanted to make, which was that I announced this week that I was doubling down. I got fed up with all the Stadia's dead and why are you guys still hanging around, and I feel sorry for anyone that's still doing Stadia content. So I announced that I'm doubling down and that this channel will be 100% Google Stadia, as far as I'm concerned, until Stadia is around or I fall over, one of the two. So it's this is my commitment to the platform. I've been streaming. My content has been pretty much 90% Stadia content, certainly since I started content creating, which was initially for Stadia. And although I do cover other platforms now, what I've done, Ray, is I've moved that off to a completely different YouTube channel, so that I can focus this one on Stadia. And I'm going to even go beyond that. So, as you know, for some time now, I've only been doing this one show a week, which is pretty poor, to be fair. Come on, Rock. So I'm looking to do a Stadia stream every other day from July when I get back off my holes. Most of them will be game streams because that's what I've been told people like and that they would like to see me do more of. But we may get some more stuff in there as well. But I want the world to know that Stadia is not only alive and it's going to blow out some amazing features this year, but people like us are behind it. That we're not backing off and going elsewhere. So there you go. So that's why there's been a bit of a rebrand, because I've separated the two channels. Rock Play is where you'll find it's games related, by the way, not platform related. Really important to say that. It's not because that's where I'm going to be doing all my PlayStation stuff or all my GeForce stuff. It's about the games over there. It's keeping the platforms completely out of it. But this, 100% Stadia. All the content that'll ever be on this station from now on, the station, I didn't tell you I've been syndicated, did I? Is going to be Stadia, 100%.
I mean, let's be honest. There's like a lot of games in my backlog that I have not finished yet. So, I mean, I still haven't beat Blue Fire. I still haven't beat Grime. I still need help in Strange Brigade. I'm stuck with some mummies right now, and I can't get through.
I finished that one, Ray.
I can't get through it. I can't. I'm stuck.
Come and join me. I'm on the
what's messed up? The one last mummy, and I was getting ready to kill him, and then he got me, and I was like, oh my God. So, and then also, there's still Serious Sam 4. That was a platform exclusive. I never beat that game. So still a lot of games I need to go back in.
And a massive sale on at the moment as well.
Exactly. I saw One Piece. I saw, what was it? One Piece something for $8.99, and somebody told me that was a really good game.
I saw that, yeah. Ray's got mummy issues, says Clive.
I do. I do.
I think it's got something to do with Cowboy as well, hasn't it?
Yes. But that's a whole nother story of mummy issues.
Exactly.
But and then right now, SPG has gotten me back into 2K21 golf. And that's my really, I've been playing golf to up to about 2-3 in the morning.
Wow.
With him or Kevin, my best friend.
My friend.
I know.
Stop it.
You only live once. Have fun, man. Have fun.
I know, but you want to at least be around for a bit longer, don't you?
Have fun, man. That's what these games are for. So, but yeah, and then I think, what is it? There's 52 pro games. There's a lot of, and then shout out to AT&T because I got pro for 6 months for free.
Wow.
So,
AT&T are right, really getting
hey,
behind cloud, aren't they?
man, let me tell you, I said, man, I hope this code works, man. And I put that code in, and it popped up. You got Stadia Pro for 6 months, and man, I'm just like, awesome, awesome.
Yeah. I know, and I know, Purple. Your 100% commitment is behind Stadia as well. And I'm not going to talk out of shop, but in your IRL, you're massively into Stadia, as well as obviously online. And it must get on your wick. Guess on my wick. There's a little English phrase, guys. If you've never heard that before, have you heard that one before, Ray? Getting on your wick.
No, what is that?
Oh, well, it just means it annoys you. It gets on.
Okay,
It's,
okay,
I think it's a fairly.
okay.
I think it's
All right,
clean. I hope it
all right.
is.
It
But
don't sound. If you say
it
it too
doesn't. Oh
fast, it
no!
don't sound too good.
Oh, it never does when it goes through your head, though. It's like a filter. It comes out dirty. It goes. You're like the reverse of a washing machine. It goes in clean and comes out dirty. That's like nobody wants that. You're a negative hot. A hop. Whatever hot point. but but. Yeah, putting that to one side, Purple. Sorry, we've been really trying to be good today. We've been trying to be so good. We've got royalty on the show here, and we're trying to be so good. So apologies for that. I was almost there, but it gets on my wick. It does though, because it's only got so many, and there are still people hanging around that were great content creators that not that many months ago behind Stadia still can. They just seem to feel like they've got to keep justifying their moves, and I see you, bless you, popping up in all these different chats, waving the flag, and you got your shield in one hand and your Stadia sword in the other.
No zero games for me. I did not finish Monster Boy. I actually rage quit and never been back.
Ray doesn't finish any game, Zero. He's the very definition of a magpie. He loves to get in, but to be fair, he streams them, and then he's got to come up with some new content every time. So that's fair enough. But Purple, doesn't it annoy you that you have to keep doing that?
I mean, I understand why people are. I mean, they're annoyed, right? That Stadia isn't doing what they want it to be. But I think one of the beautiful things about Stadia is like it makes it really easy to come and go. So like, sure, once it starts, what we've all said that Stadia has a big future, and we're starting to see that, right? Like, I want to give credit that Stadia is definitely not the same platform that it started off with, and it is still continuing to grow. But I'm sure we're going to be seeing so many people saying, I want to go play back on Stadia because now it has the game, or now it has the feature. And so I think that's what gets me excited when I hear people kind of justify or, say things, is that I always say the proof is in the playing. And I truly believe Stadia is kind of the most frictionless kind of platform or service to play high quality games on.
Yeah, that's what I've always said. It's friction free. I mean, it really is. I was playing on a platform earlier today. I wanted to actually tell you what it was, Ray. Remember last week when William, the roadie, was doing? We've demoted him. He's no longer going to be a guitar player now. We're gonna. If he seems to enjoy roadieing more, so we'll make sure he does that next week. But he covered Assassin's Creed Unity last week, didn't he?
Yes.
So I thought I'd have a little play. I had to log every time I went to that game. I had to log in, playing elsewhere. But then you go to Stadia, there's none of that. It's just like it's none of it. You just go on you go. Be on your way, my friend. Have your game. Hit the little buttons and see who's on and your friends and stuff within the whole game, and set a party up, and it's just friction free, as Purple says. But maybe I'm doing the opposite. Maybe I'm banging on when I should be just accepting it. I don't know. I just kind of feel like
my thing is just enjoy it. If it makes you happy, just keep playing. Just play what makes you happy. And this community, like I said, I don't know where I would be without this community. And every day, I'm finding myself playing with one of my friends and just having a good time. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters to me. And I hope it matters to certain people.
Yeah, of course it does, my friend. And you would be under a bridge with a bottle of meths. I know, so it's nice. It's nice to have friends in real life, isn't it? Listen, we
Yes.
had literally one more news item anyway, so let's quickly do it because it's quite a good one, I think. Let me just make sure I'm going to paste the right thing in here before we do that. No, yes, I think we will. Yes, we do. Skull and Bones rated for PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, and Stadia, but not for old gen. Now, putting to one side that for 1 second, it's amazing. Another game that's coming. This is another Ubisoft, so I'm guessing it's going to be part of Ubisoft Plus if you have that. And if you don't, then obviously it's going to be on sale. That ongoing commitment that these guys have. My favorite studio. I know it's Ray's as well. In terms of what's coming to Stadia. But what was interesting to me beyond all that was that what was the title here? It's not going to be on older gen. It's going to be next gen only, including Stadia. We've said this before, and I'm not saying for 1 minute that means we're suddenly going to get a massive increase in Stadia 2 or whatever. And we've also, all of us have said that you're never going to get that. It's just going to gradually be uprated and upgraded, and suddenly it's going to work a little bit differently, and they're not going to make a big thing of it. But it does at least show that we are in that strata. We're considered to be in that space rather than in the old gen. What is that something you're looking forward to, Raymond? A bit of Skull and Bones?
Well, first of all, when FIFA came out, that was also next gen. That didn't come out for
Yes.
last, and it would played, and I love it. It was amazing on Stadia, and this is I love Pirates. I love Ubisoft. I can't wait for Skull and Bones to come out. So yeah, and I think next gen. Stadia does have next gen features. Stadia has certain features like Stream Connect and Crowd Play and stuff like that other platforms don't have. So yeah, I'm excited and I can't wait.
I don't know much about the game, to be honest. Is it? Do you know much about it? Do you know what sort of a format it takes, or?
Well, you played the pirate, the Assassin's Creed, the pirate type of version.
Yeah.
Okay,
Black
well, it
Flag?
might be, Black Flag. Well, I think it might have something similar to that, but with different other enhanced features and stuff like that. Probably with a story and some other things. But I love the videos and some of the stuff that I hear about it. Looks amazing.
Is that are you a Ubisoft Plus subscriber, Purple?
I just buy the game from
This
Ubisoft.
Skull and Bones?
No, Ubisoft. I just buy the Ubisoft
Oh,
games.
you buy them?
from-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they're so cheap, aren't they? When they have the sale, when they have not when they launch, but when they have their sales, which let's be honest, are pretty much all the time, you can if you've just got one or two things that. Skull and Bones trailer. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, if you've only got sort of a couple of games that you really want to play, see, it was announced ages ago, Ray, and then it's
Yeah.
been put off and put back and all the sort of
Mhm.
thing that you do. I just want to make sure it's muted. Yes, it is. Otherwise, I will get another copyright hit. I always do. Um, but you can hear the sound of the ship. I know it sounds like a van. Bizarre. It's very dark here in Ubisoft land. I'm sure that's because there's somebody talking. Does it get any lighter? Yes, it does, but still quite dark. Oh, this is just going to be a very gorgeous sort of thing. So it's definitely set in the 18th century.
I love how you said gorgeous right as we saw a guy dying.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, that was kind of eerie.
I don't know. I don't know. Listen, if the last thing he ever heard was gorgeous, he would have gone happy, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. Hey, gorgeous. Oh, thank you.
But I think the reason when a game comes out and then when they start making it, certain features, certain stuff gets obsolete. I mean, they just want to have the best optimized game, and I think they just go back to the drawing board and change it up. And then when they have something, you know what? Here's another feature that we need to add to this game. Or it's just going to be a massive game, like huge.
Yeah.
And it needed all that time.
So the one thing that jumped out to me in that article was multiplayer. I actually did see some official gameplay. Here we go. This could be more interesting. So it looks like it's a definite. It's in that kind of mold of the whole kind of Assassin's Creedy look, isn't it? That they do so well, to be fair. But a multiplayer PvP pirate game. That's that could have some legs, or at least some oars. There we go. Let's see, ship versus ship.
Woo, man.
It's a beautiful looking game, isn't it? Oh, here's something.
Yeah.
Here's something. What have we got here? Intimidation, Blackhorn, customization. So, oh, okay. So you can upgrade your cannon, your armors. Look at that little chubby fella.
Yeah.
Enough of it, Raymond. Sorry, Purple. It's, you know, what can I say? Inverted hot point. I mean, it's... Yeah, I mean, you know, it looks good. And definitely, if it's multiplayer, I love that idea, because I don't think anybody's done a kind of battle royale of pirate ships and stuff, have they? That could be interesting.
That would be cool if you could have your mates on your ship with you, and you got certain people that control parts of the ship. I don't understand.
I think that would be really good. What's the Xbox Pirates game called?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Thanks, that's massive, isn't it?
I used to love watching Clive. Clive used to stream that. I used to love watching it.
I did a couple of.
You did some as well.
Yeah. I did a couple with him as well. Introduced me to it. But it definitely looks to me like this is what happens here. So you've got multiplayer. Every person in the game is one of these ships. You can progress the shipping, you know, change your armor, your thingy bobs, your cannons, the whole works. I love that idea that you just said, Ray, that you could have actual teammates working on the ship. So, you know, you could have William, he's manning the cannon at the back, and I'll be up the rigging. I'll be, you know, because fit young fella that I am, and all that kind of thing going on. That would be good. I love that idea. So, at any rate, it's rated for what that matters. Well, what it matters is that it means it's almost, because it's Ubisoft, almost certainly it's going to come. I mean, this article is about the fact that it's been rated in Brazil. I think it's kind of been a bit forgotten. And yeah, see, Clive's right. It was really old Sea of Thieves, because it was multiplayer. He's absolutely right. You were pitted up against other folk. In fact, that's kind of pretty much what the game was about, isn't it? So it's just that it doesn't exist on Stadia. So for us on Stadia, that would be the thing.
I mean, Geek the Sneak Man, he's got a really nice list of games coming like that.
Yeah, look at that. And don't forget Avatar.
Avatar.
That's going to be huge later in the year. What's it called? Sound of Water or something? What's the film? It's got the most boring title ever. It's called something like Avatar, Back to the Water or something. It's like, it's rubbish.
Back to the water.
It's something as rough as that, I tell you. Avatar, The Way of Water. There you go.
Yeah,
That's even worse. The Way of Water. Sam Worthington, that was the original fella in Avatar, wasn't it? He was the original dude. And hang on, this might be the first one. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver. She's still how she's managed to stay alive with all the aliens that have come after her after all these years baffles the heck out of me. And Vin Diesel, he's expensive these days, isn't he?
Oh,
price of diesel's gone well up, I tell you. Kate Winslet, look at that. She can't see water. Rose, they had to get her back, didn't they? It was reprise her role of being in the water. But do you know what? I did watch this trailer on the Renaissance Men, one of my favorite podcasts. And they weren't too super impressed. And I said, do you know what I think it is, Purple? I think these days we're so used to seeing amazing graphics, you know, like the cutscenes on games these days, you know, the film sequences, they're just so amazing that when you know, like I look at this and I think, yeah, I've seen that on Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what I mean? It's like, I want something, I'm not seeing it anymore. And it's difficult because 20 years ago, we'd have gone, oh my, look at that, they look like real things. Right. Now we just think, well, you know, that there's like that scene in Horizon Zero Dawn, isn't it? and you just think it's not doing it for me anymore. I mean, tall fellas on stilts, you see them just around where I live, to be fair. There's nothing new, is it? So, you know what I'm saying, Raymond? I don't mean I don't mean to down on the game.
But this is somebody's art. This is somebody's work. This is somebody.
I'm sorry.
They put their passion into designing these animations.
Shall I walk it back? I mean, that looks nice, isn't it? With that large fish-like thing.
Yeah.
That looks good. That looks awesome. Bless them. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be brilliant, Ray. I will definitely go and see it because,
Yeah.
Avatar. And there's going to be a game. I don't know if they're going to be doing the whole 3D. This was one of the first of the new kind of crop of 3D films, wasn't it? The first one that came out. And I don't know whether they've dropped that completely or whether they're going to be bringing that back out again. I tell you what, just before we close, because we will, and Purple, bless her, she can't wait to get out of here. I don't blame her. But Ray, have you ever seen Leon the Lobster?
Oh no, Leon. No, what is that?
Oh mate, it's one of the loveliest things. You've got to go and go to YouTube, right, and look for Leon the Lobster. I'll show you because it'll be under my history. I'm not being funny. It's one of the loveliest things I've watched for ages. Let's go to my library. Where's Leon? He's here somewhere. Oh, that is actually my library. That's no good, is it? I'll search for him. Leon the Lobster. Where is he? So anyway, Leon the Lobster, lovely little film. This American fella, went to the local supermarket, Walmart, and rescued a lobster from the fish counter, right? So it's like, I feel really sorry for this. He had crabs that would feed from his hand. He's like, when you have these creatures in your home, and you realise just how intelligent they are. But look, he went to the local supermarket, and Leon, this is Leon here. Look, he's all.
Hey, Rock, we're not seeing it.
Oh, well, I'm making it all up.
I'm waiting to see it. I'm
Ray,
there it is.
There
Okay,
he is.
there we go.
Leon,
There we
right?
go.
So he rescues. What's he talking about?
That would have made a nice.
No, Ray. No, that's his
lobster
new
roll.
friend. It's Leon. He takes Leon home, and he cost him $37. He wasn't cheap. But look, initially, poor Leon, he's all taped up, so he has to chop all his tape off and everything.
Oh my god!
And he's not. He probably hasn't fed. He probably hasn't eaten for weeks. So he puts him in his new house. And
my wife had his cousin the other day.
No, Ray. Because after a couple of weeks, Leon, he's back to his old self. He feeds him. He's giving him little bits of clam and stuff. Look at his little face. It's like that's how a lobster smiles there, Ray. Look, he's giving him a little worm for his lunch. If you're eating at home, I hope you're enjoying whatever. Spaghetti's nice, apparently. So look, he gives him a little worm, and Leon, he's like, thanks, mate. Grabs it straight away. He's got millions of little Leon arms underneath. It's fascinating to watch. And he cleans up his little house and everything. And then weeks later, Leon's back to normal. Now I'm not going to knock this, right? This video has had 925,000 likes. It's had 19 million watches or something. And all of the stuff, there you go, 19,638,000. He's only been streaming since last November. All of this stuff about Leon, he's massive. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with Stadia, but I loved a bit of Leon last night when I was watching it, because that's the kind of guy I am. There you go, that's the end of that. Right, okay.
I would love to dip Leon's claw in some melted garlic butter.
No, Raymond. No.
Man,
that guy has a right to live. Look at him, and he's imparting information to his newfound friend Brady Brandwood. There might be Leon the game just around the corner coming to Stadia, mate, and you'll have eaten it and ruined it for everybody. We're not having it. See, Ray, even Clive says, poor thing will get chilblains straight from frozen to warm water. The thing is, they put him in a box with no water, Clive, and it took him an hour to get him home. So I think by that point, he was happy to be in any water. Right. That's it. Lovely show. Let's do the quick round robin, and I want you guys to do me a massive favor and pop over to Purple's channel and whack up her subscriptions, because she does amazing content. She's a fantastic, lovely human being and deserves all of your Stadia praise. Purple, where can people find you?
Thank you for that, and thank you both of y'all for being on the show before. But you can find me on Shades of Purple, Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. I interview content creators and game developers, and I actually have a really big game developer on tap over here in the next few weeks. But I also am going to, this week I'm really excited. It's breaking news first. I'm going to be interviewing one of the he's kind of like a pseudo content creator. He's an amazing gamer, an amazing person, and it's Holtz. So if y'all know Holtz,
Steven, can you hear me, Steven?
So I'm really excited because I've been wanting. He was one of the first people when I thought of my show because I just think he supports everyone. He's an amazing gamer, amazing knowledge, and so yeah. So you can find me there, and then on the weekends I stream video games, and I've been streaming Lara Croft, and if you've been following that, you know I've been having some issues with Lori, yes, and so I am actually going to, sneak peek, talk to the person who created Lori for a future episode. So yes, so I was able to get that.
Well, there's two massive bits of news now. Holtz is a lovely, lovely guy.
Holtz is amazing. Love Holtz.
He's a super fellow. And funnily enough, he and Helen, who we had on earlier, both from the same part of the world. So I doubt they know each other, but Holtz is quite famous. He's quite famous around Liverpool. It kind of goes like this: goes Beatles, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Holtz. So he's right up there. Oh, that's amazing. And the voice of Lara Croft in the very early games was voiced by Keely Hawes, who is one of my all-time favorite actresses. Absolutely stunning, beautiful voice, very beautiful lady, great actor. So I don't think it's Keely you've got coming on, but I'm certainly looking forward to that. That'll be amazing. So there you go, folks. You heard it here first. This lady is getting the names on her show. Get over there. Give us some love. Get the old subs kicking in. Talking to people who have done amazingly well with their subs. Young Raymond, who very generously revealed his name live, his actual first name. We won't go over that again, Ray. Don't worry. His first name last week, but it was a lovely thing. And where are we now? You got up to 505.
Yeah, and hopefully YouTube don't take it away from me. But I just want to say thank you for all the supporters. I wouldn't be where I'm at without you guys, and the guys that I stream and play games with. Once again, this game community is awesome. But make sure you support all those other guys giving you their blood, their sweat, their tears. Support these other content creators that are making these videos and putting stuff out for you. So thank you.
That was my other phrase, Ron. I love coming up with them with old Holtz. Ray, man, you totally deserve it. You know that. We all love you. We love you to pieces. You spend too much time in other people's shows and not enough in your own stuff. And that's why we got to get you doing your gear and getting up your thing and everything else and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
Get my thing up for me, Rock.
Get your thing up. Get your little chubby cannon.
Yeah.
When Skull and Bones launches. So, what have you got coming up this week? What can we look forward to?
You guys know I play on all the platforms. So tonight I'll be doing Amazon Luna. They got a game that just came out called Riptide GP Renegades, where you're on a jet ski. So I'll be on a jet ski. And then shout out to Vet Cloud Gaming. We do a sports show. We talk about sports and stuff like that. We're going to be talking about Vince McMahon, WWE. He had to step down because he's been a little bad boy in wrestling. And then just Ray3473 on Twitter. I just post up everything. And once again, shout out to all the wonderful content creators out there. And
he's tired, folks. What I want you all to do is to send him some sleep vibes, because he's
speaking of sleep, and I might as well put that out there. Yes, there's a video out there on TikTok. There's a video out on Twitter where I fell asleep and bumped my head during a damn stream. All right. I'm old. Stop picking at old folks, man.
That was funny though.
I was streaming Resident Evil 2, and hey, things happen. I nodded, and then smack my head on my microphone, push my monitor screen back. I played it. Now my son is calling me the sleeping cyborg, and yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. But hey, you know, if you're not laughing, you're not living. You know what I'm
Mate,
saying?
listen, I can't throw stones because literally the same day that video came out, I was streaming Sniper Elite and I fell asleep twice in the stream. The difference is nobody watches me and nobody was there to clip it, so I got away with it.
Oh, well, now, man, now, hey, you guys go back now. You can clip that.
Yeah,
You
you
clip
won't
it. Shout
find
out
it.
for Real
You won't
Certified
find it.
Doc and Wilson for clipping that. But you know what? Payback. So you know what? I'm just saying.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, chaps and chapesses, for helping us out with the old show. As I mentioned, I'm going to be away from next week for a couple of weeks, but I've got some great ideas for shows to fill the slot, and more on that later. In the meantime, I do intend to get some game streams in, so tomorrow we're doing some Stadia, I think. So please come and watch that, just so that I'm not alone. I get lonely because nobody ever comes and says hello to me. Bless him, little Rock. Purple, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you hurried across New York from one of your high-powered meetings to be with us. So,
She's awesome.
She is awesome. Raymond, thank you, my friend. Look, he's nodding off already. Look at him. Look.
I'm nodding off. I mean, you don't know. I tweet in the stream, so I'm tweeting in this, thanking everybody.
Oh, bless you. And listen, just one more time. And I'm not honestly, I'm not tapping you up for money. I just want to say a massive thank you. Firstly to Helen for joining us earlier. I really appreciate the time, Helen, and your insights on the charity were amazing. But you guys, you guys, let me look down the camera at you. You guys, for what you've done, continue to do, because that £1,500, you know, it may be a drop in the ocean to a lot of charities, but for this one, it means a huge amount. And for me, given that I didn't expect to get as far as 500, in fairness, it's mind blowing. So thank you so much. It means the absolute world. And just think that all the good that you guys are going to do, but that's Stadia for you there. That is the Stadia community. Right, everybody, say goodbye, wave goodbye, blow kisses, whatever it is that you wish to do. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Thank you.
Bye. Thank